Hello and welcome. Let's begin with Kenya. The country has seen violent anti-government protests in recent days. Reported police brutality and crackdown on dissent has further fueled public anger. As tensions and public discontentment remain high across the country, a new government policy has sparked outrage in Kenya. Nairobi has introduced sweeping new rules to control the sale and consumption of alcohol. Kenya's National Authority for the Campaign Against Alcohol and Drug Abuse has unveiled the new rules, which have been labelled as one of the most aggressive anti-alcohol policies the country has ever seen. Let's take a look at some of the major changes under the new rules. The minimum drinking age shall be raised from 18 to 21 years. Anyone under 21 will no longer be allowed to enter any place that sells alcohol, regardless of whether they are with an adult. Purchase of alcohol in supermarkets, restaurants, and on public transport shall be banned. Consumption of alcohol at public beaches, public parks, amusement parks, petrol stations shall be prohibited. Promotion, advertising, sponsorship, and marketing targeting children and persons under the age of 21 shall be banned. Authorities have backed the sweeping new rules, saying that these are crucial to address substance abuse among Kenyan youth. As per the country's official data, alcohol remains the most commonly abused substance in Kenya. 1 in every 20 Kenyans aged between 15 to 24 years consumes alcohol, and 1 in every 20 Kenyans is addicted to it. Now, Kenya's new alcohol ban policy has sparked anger, especially among traders and alcohol manufacturers. Critics warn that the sweeping rules could trigger a crisis in the alcohol industry, cause widespread job losses, push consumers toward illicit alcohol market, negatively impact Kenya's hospitality sector, and destroy the country's economy. Now, despite previous such attempts to curb the menace of alcohol abuse, the issue has persisted in the country, with dozens of people having died from consumption of harmful alcohol. In 2023, then Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua proposed a radical step to reduce alcohol abuse in Kenya's central region, seen as the worst hit by the menace. Now, the minister proposed that the county government should only allow 1 pub per town, but bar and restaurant owners accused the government of unnecessarily targeting legitimate businesses. And in the end, the plan fell apart. Now, there's a new policy promising to fulfill an old concern regarding alcohol abuse. And right after being unveiled, it is being met with heavy criticism. Now, it remains to be seen if Kenya's sweeping alcohol ban policy curbs an old menace or sparks new protests in the country. Narima Wako, who is the Executive Director of Siasa Place and a political analyst, joining us live from Nairobi. Thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Now, how effective are measures like raising the legal drinking age and banning alcohol sales in supermarkets likely to be in tackling substance abuse among the youth in Kenya?
So such measures may seem like proactive public health strategies, but evidence shows us that these measures alone are rarely effective, and especially in isolation. So in Kenya's case, our major challenge, our main problem is enforcement. Many underage youth already access alcohol through informal channels. You talked about illicit brews, unregulated kiosks, or even social circles. Right now, schools have closed for the holidays, and I know this is a concern for parents and also for institutions, but moving legal alcohol sales from supermarkets to pubs completely changes the way things have been structured for a long time, because most of our supermarkets do sell alcohol. It's going to bring a lot of change. So it might actually increase exposure to riskier drinking environments where people are going to be drinking now underground and hiding while they drink. And banning it, we're
Yes.
not looking at the main challenges of youth unemployment or mental stress, peer pressure, and other factors that lead young people to drink.
Yes. The underlying causes, yes. And Narima, critics argue that these proposed regulations could severely damage the hospitality, retail, and transport sectors. What do you see as the potential economic ripple effects if the plan is implemented in its current form?
Absolutely, it will send shockwaves to several sectors. There are a lot of businesses that are still recovering from COVID-19. People are still stabilizing, and alcohol sales actually keep a lot of businesses afloat. And so, what we are looking at is we are probably going to create an economic crisis while they're trying to fix a health crisis. This could cripple supply chains overnight. And interestingly, government uses a lot of alcohol tax when they're collecting revenue. So this is also going to impact the amount of allocation that government is going to be able to have.
Yes. And given Kenya's socio-cultural and economic realities, as you've mentioned there, in your view, are there alternative approaches that could more efficiently and effectively balance public health concerns with individual freedoms and industry viability?
Absolutely. I believe a balanced, evidence-based approach would be super helpful in terms of how do we find harm reduction strategies. We've always had zoning laws. So following those zoning laws where pubs cannot be put up in a proximity to schools, for instance. So better licensing, better ways of checking IDs so that they are not sold to minors is important. And then this private and public partnership is also important. So I would say smart policy, finding ways that we're able to work with community rather than these stringent ways that people are going to find alternatives of getting alcohol and hiding it from families and parents.
Absolutely. Narima, thank you very much for being with us on Firstpost Africa.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
stands at $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktor,
Hindi,
$30 trillion ka karj ho.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Sekali radikali.
Japanese,
$1 trilhão idioma.
Portuguese,
Por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select a language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.